To be our main response.
And what is the anticipated cost for the retrofitting of the space?
It will probably take us somewhere close to $1 billion.
To what?
$1 billion, yeah.
Bless up my people. Welcome back to the channel. It's a girl Nesta Rose. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thanks to returning subscribers. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notification bell on. Put it on all so you won't miss an upload from me. On the road to 20k. Help me to get there, my people. So my people, the Public Accounts Committee met today in Parliament, and the topic at hand was the amount that was spent on this TAJ, the two unoccupied buildings that were leased for some 400 and odd million Jamaican dollars, my people. And we even seen one of the representatives from the TAJ letting them know that it will cost over $1 billion to retrofit these two properties. And some people want to listen to this video in its entirety. And then make we talk about the things in the ending part of it.
I may have been remiss in that I did not introduce myself, but I'm Gay Lulim, and I'm Chief Economist and Deputy Auditor General. Okay. We would have conducted an audit of TAJ's leasing arrangements between June and October. That was the date we actually went into the field to ascertain if there were breaches in the TAJ's policies and procedures based on allegations that TAJ leased a commercial building that was bought by a sitting member of Parliament and that the building was yet to be occupied by TAJ, although approximately 8 months' rent had been paid and renovation and retrofitting works were yet to commence. During the audit, we found no evidence that suggested that the decision to lease the commercial building was externally influenced. However, during the process, we also noted that since 2020, lease payments were also made for property in Mandeville, Manchester, although taxpayer services were yet to be offered at the premises. The key audit findings for the TAJ report, as well as the responses, are highlighted in the prompt, which I assume were distributed for your review. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Lulim.
Sure. So just generally, there were various reasons for the delay between the leasing of the properties and the
I'm going to ask you to just speak a little more directly into the mic, please.
Right. So there are various reasons for the delay in the leasing, between the leasing of the property and the operationalization of services. The standard reasons needing to procure and get the building into the state that we need it to operate buildings that we need for the particular services of the tax authorities. But Mr. Powell will address any direct.
Okay, thank you. I'll start and then members can chip in. First set of questions, Mr. Powell. Could you give us a status update on the total amounts that have been spent on the refurbishing of both the Ananda Bay building and the Manchester building? Secondly, an update on the timeline for completion of the refurbishing and when you expect to occupy those buildings. And thirdly, what you anticipate is going to be the expenditure on both the refurbishing and the lease by the time you occupy the building, for both.
Okay, all right. Let me start with the Ananda Bay.
Again, I just ask you to go a little more to the mic. Hold on, 1 second. Yes, Member Clark.
Just for clarity, Mr. Chairman, you use the terminology refurbishing. Is it retrofitting or refurbishing? Because refurbishing means that you've gotten a building that is derelict and you're refurbishing as against getting a building that is up to scratch and you're going to retrofit for occupation.
All right. Well, I'm not hung up on the term refurbishing or retrofitting. If it's retrofitting, the question is still stands in terms of what you have spent on retrofitting the building up to this point.
All right, let me start with Unoccupied. The lease to date is 23 million.
Is what, sorry?
23 million. And we are at the point where we are going to start the process of putting the office in order for us to occupy, which is at a cost of estimated at roughly 30 million. The expected start date is June 10th for that work, and we expect it to be completed within 4 months. We'll be putting in counters for the service areas, and we'll be doing cabling, structured cabling to facilitate the IC network. I'm not sure which one of the definitions that might fall under, but that's the extent of the work
Sure.
over there, right? And so we are hoping that by the third quarter we should be in that space. Because as you know, we have closed out in the original office in Ananda Bay. So
All right, so just to summarize, 23 million so far on the lease.
Yes.
30 million to retrofit,
Yes.
and you anticipate occupying the space by the third quarter of this year.
Yes, sir.
And in terms of the contracts for retrofitting, have all of those gone through the procurement process, and you have
Yes.
completed the procurement process for all of those?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you want to go to Mandeville?
All right, from Mandeville, to date we have spent 451 million. We are at the point of
Is that, just to be clear, 451 on what, lease?
lease, yes.
Lease, okay.
And we had restarted the bidding process, and we expect that to be closed by the 29th of this month, which is tomorrow.
And the bidding process is for the retrofitting?
Right.
Okay. 29th
Of May.
of May, so
Yes.
tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
A fair amount of work on that contract was done by the landlord, and they had put in elevators, bathrooms, flooring, etc. But finishing the works is going to be our main responsibility.
And what is the anticipated cost for the retrofitting of the space?
It will probably take us somewhere close to $1 billion.
To what?
$1 billion, yeah.
1 billion to retrofit.
Yes.
Wow. And when do you anticipate having the space ready for occupancy?
We're looking at September 2025. That's the best estimate we have right now.
Has
So
there
all this
been,
is subject to approval and so on.
I mean, just hearing what you have said, 451 on the lease, close to 1 billion retrofitting. Has there been a cost-benefit analysis done to determine whether it would have been better for the government to build its own building or to use an alternative, given the cost? Because we're talking about close to 1.5 billion for both lease and retrofitting by the time you occupy.
When we started out, we had actually pursued the acquisition of property, which we were not able to find suitable property within the confines of Mandeville. We were seeing things on the outskirts, but we were conscious of the fact that for some taxpayers, it would mean, two transport to get to anything outside of the town. We didn't find anything suitable. We also looked at other properties, and in Mandeville we did not. Two of the constraints that affected us would have been parking.
Having heard Julian pressing questions, asking why didn't they, build a brand new building instead of, leasing that and have to spend over $1 billion to retrofit it. Because the one in Portland will cost approximately 30 million and the one in Mandeville will cost approximately $1 billion. It would have made more sense to me that they would have used a piece of land where it's accessible to the citizens and build from the ground up instead of almost spending $2 billion to retrofit 2 buildings that they are still yet to occupy, and they won't be occupied until at least one of them until 2026. This is almost 2 years from now, my people. And at this point, them need to come forward and tell the public, because these monies are coming from the public coffers. They need to come and tell the public who owns that property in Mandeville. Right? The public has a right to know that. We already know the owner of the one in Portland. And so the public has a right to know what their money is spent on and to whom the money is used to do business with. This is a whole lot of money we're talking about. Millions, hundreds of millions we're talking about. Some people want to hear from you, drop 2 cents in the comment section and make a reason. Want to make me know if you think that this is a waste of the public's funds. Yes or no? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Run over to my other platform, Instagram and Facebook, and follow me over there at Ananda Bay. Check out the YouTube store, make a purchase, it goes in support of the channel. Check out the YouTube membership. You get a lot of benefits by becoming a member. Only a small fee per month to be a member of the Ananda Bay movement. New viewers, come on board, journey with me, join the family. Subscribe to the channel, like up the video, share out the video, support the ABR movement on the road to 20K. Help me to get there, my people. Stay tuned for more videos, stay tuned for more updates. Get this video to at least 2,000 likes. Big up on yourself.